Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Bracken. I right now live in Bullhead City, Arizona, and I just wanted to put out that one of my first videos, a little short, whatever, but this one is my more or less coming out video. I'm doing it kind of backwards because the first one that I had was normal for a lot of you, that it was okay. The second one was a little different and odd. My mother has been married about 3 times in her life, and she's on her on her third and last marriage. And they live in Minnesota, in the middle of the Bible Belt. And my mother and him have been together for, God, what? I'd say a good 11, 12 years. I went to go visit my mother and her husband for Christmas, I think about 3 years ago. And it was really nice, because I've never been in Minnesota for winter time. Well, my brother and my sister were coming in from their home about 3 hours away from my mother in Aberdeen. And my other brother, he lives right in town, more or less. When they came out, it was snowing, and I've never really been in a big snowstorm like kind of style. Yeah, it was. I know this really sounds crazy how I'm doing this. My real first video, so I'm a little nervous. So please excuse me. I went with my sister one day to her grandmother's, and we had her daughters with us. So we had some good time and everything. Well, we were going back home, which right across the highway, because where my mother and everyone live are kind of like on a highway. And when we were crossing, the snow had becoming really horrible, and if you were to go off the road, you'd go into a huge ditch. And she was trying real hard to stay on the road, to even see the road. Well, on the way home, I had told her I was gay, and I was waiting for a response of pure hate and discontent. But to my surprise, she just sat there and said, "I never knew. I thought you just hadn't found the right person yet." And that was a total shock to me, because you hear on the Bible Belt that people hate and getting mean and nasty and everything. And she goes, "Well, where I live, a lot of gay people and straight people go into the same bar," which was another shock to me, because I've never heard of that. And so during that whole time, I had been kind of, and she goes, "Well, I'm not telling my husband because that's up to you." And I'm like, "Oh, goody." And she goes, "Well, it's not going to be any different than how I feel, but I've never had a chance to really tell him, because he's always busy at school, or he's working, and he never hardly has any time. So, but I am going to sit down and talk to him sometime soon, which will be probably just as easy as this." But then my mother, when I told my mother, I told my sister, she had proceeded, and I didn't care but to tell the rest of the family and that, and they were like, as long as he's okay and we love him and everything else, and that was a shock. So of course, I think they were really kind of okay with it because I never flaunted my sexuality in front of them. I never really talked about it. I never really put it out there, which was a good thing because I'm not one that I like to flaunt or shove it into people's faces. And right now I know this is a way of shoving it into somebody's face. But like everyone else says, only do this when you are comfortable. And if you need, have someone with you that you trust, that if something were to go wrong, that when you tell them that you can leave in some safety if you ever feel uncomfortable around telling someone. I always think that if you believe that you need support next to you, then do it. If you think your family or your friends or whoever that you're going to tell is going to be okay with it, always have a backup plan, no matter what. No matter if you feel safe or not. Just in case, because not always is that the case that it's going to work out the way you want it. You might get surprised, you might not. So, please understand that each person deals with their coming out, their other problems in so many different ways, in so many different qualities, that you don't know what's going to happen next. But believe me, I love you. I know what it's like. I know some of the fear during telling someone, but I don't know the fear of someone hating me. And I'm really sorry that you all that the people out there that had to deal with this has to deal with it. If you need to write everything, you can write my email address. Write that, and you can go to my Twitter account, which is Thomas Bracken, and send me in a DM if you want to have me write you or Skype you or whatever. And the other thing is if there's a lot of hate comments and stuff, that's fine. That I'm not worried about, because I know there's going to be plenty of those out there. And if you want to hate on me, then why are you watching this? Why do you care? Because if this doesn't pertain to you, then I suggest you just move on and not worry about what this does and what this doesn't do. But do me a favor. Let the people who need help get the help. And just remember, there's always someone there who loves you for you. Not what you can do for them, not what they can do for you, but just because you are you and they are themselves. I'm sorry this is kind of short, but I just want to do this. And like I said before, I love you all. Have a good day.